Recording. It's about the top of the hour, and this is Lou Bortone here with Janet Slack. So, Janet, these are your folks, so feel free to take it away.
All right. I want to thank everybody for being on the call today. You are showing your business smarts today by learning about video. It really is what we all have to know and pay attention to these days, and Lou is going to make it easy and interesting and fun. So let me give you just a little background on Lou Bortone before we start. He's an online branding expert and a video marketing strategist. He helps entrepreneurs and small business owners build breakthrough brands on the internet to get that visibility, credibility, and profitability that we're all looking for. Lou delivers innovative and creative online branding strategies, especially using video marketing, social media marketing, and online video coaching. So here's the impressive part, folks. Here's Lou's background. He has over 25 years experience as a marketing executive in the TV and entertainment industries. He worked for E! Entertainment Television. He was a senior VP of marketing and advertising for Fox Family Worldwide. He's an author and a ghostwriter, 6 business books to his credit. He's a certified guerrilla marketing coach. He's a Book Yourself Solid certified coach. And what I really want you to know about Lou is who he is as a person. I know Lou personally, and I am wowed by his knowledge of marketing strategy. He knows his stuff. He doesn't just know how to make video. He also knows how to make video work for your business, which is what we really need. He's also one of the most creative marketers I know. And he's humble, he's funny, and a genuinely nice person, someone that I trust a whole lot. So I'm honored to have him sharing with you today. Thank you so much for being here, Lou.
Oh, thank you, Janet. That was probably the nicest introduction I ever got. So thank you. I appreciate that.
You bet.
Although I feel a little slightly old that I'm like, oh my God, have I really been doing this for 25 years? So hopefully you can see my screen that says Unleash Your Video Creativity. Just want to make sure that that's the case before we dive in.
Yes, we can see it.
Excellent. Well, thank you, and thank you again for the introduction, and thanks to all the folks who took a little bit of time out of their day to learn more about video and video creativity. So this webinar is called 5 Fast and Fun Ways to Create Great Video, but I'm actually going to give you probably closer to 10 or 12 ways. So lots of fun content to go over here, and we'll dive right in. Basically, when we talk about unleashing your video creativity, what we're going to talk about in this webinar over the next 45 minutes or so is how to tap into your inner creative genius, and we're going to look at a couple of really cool tools and new ways to deliver your message more visually. I'm going to show you the software that I use to create sketch videos and animated videos that's actually very easy to use. We're going to talk a little bit about cranking out consistent video content, and I'm going to show you a bunch of really easy to use, low or no cost video creation tools and shortcuts. Sound good, Janet?
Sounds perfect.
Great. So feel free to jump in anytime or stop me or comment or ask questions. This is relatively informal and I've got lots of content, but if I'm going too quick or if you miss anything, just feel free to jump on in.
Great.
So thank you. You mentioned my background in the entertainment biz, and I like to say that I've been doing video marketing since before YouTube, the Stone Age, which was only like 6 or 7 years ago, so not that long. And I like to also tell people that I am not a technical whiz. I'm a marketing and branding person who figures out the tech as I go along just so I can do it. So, you don't have to be a technical whiz to get into any of this video stuff. Really, my background is much more marketing, and I know just enough technology to get myself in trouble. But I've done a ton of different products, from things like Video in a Day to Video Marketing Bootcamp to Video Bunch. So I've kind of figured this stuff out as I've gone along. And one of the things that I've realized is that even though people say that they're not creative, I find that everybody has creativity in them. So I like to start off with a couple of ideas, and I love my, to rhyme everything or to keep everything with the same letter. So I've got my 5 T's for igniting creativity. And the first one is to team up or to find a partner to brainstorm with. I think when you start to bounce ideas off another person, even if they're wacky ideas, you start to come up with a lot of cool ideas and you find yourself getting more creative. The other thing that I do, because I have a very short attention span and I need to focus, is I set a timer for like 10 minutes, like one of the little kitchen timers. And I basically just say, I'm going to write down everything I can think of about this particular idea or issue, and I'm not going to stop until the timer goes off. And that helps to start get the ideas flowing as well. The other thing that I need to do with my adult ADD is to just kind of tough it out and just really force myself to dive in and do the work. I also have to do this with my 15-year-old son who doesn't like to do his homework, and say, you just got to hunker down and do it. But I also use a lot of templates or guides or models, because that way you're sort of not starting from scratch. You're starting with some kind of a model or a guide. So I'm a big believer in templates and models. And then finally, the last way to kind of get your creative juices flowing is to just give your own unique take on a topic. So, there are lots of coaches out there or lots of authors or speakers, but everybody has their own unique spin, and you've got to put that particular spin on it to get creative. I'm going to skip that one. But the other thing about creativity is, for me, I think, and for a lot of people, it's about being visual. And I've started to try and take a lot of my ideas and content and turn them into images, because Facebook, first of all, loves images. Obviously, it's very graphically oriented. Pinterest, which has really taken off in the last year or so, is made for images, so that's another great way to use images. Images and pictures in general are just more fun and more shareable online. I just posted a photo of my lovely daughter, and she's going to kill me when she gets home because she hates when I post pictures of her, but it was just such a nice picture I had to share it on Facebook. So also, when you add photos to a blog, it helps with your search engine optimization. And finally, if you are new to video, thinking visually and turning content into images is really the first step towards video content. And the truth is, if you can use images and visual pictures, you can create video, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment. There are a handful of tools I want to share with you that can help you to turn your ideas or content into graphics, or what I call photo posts. And I've listed them here, but I'll go through each one individually. So one of them that I really like is called recitethis.com. And basically, obviously people post a lot of quotes on Twitter or Facebook, and this is a way to take those quotes or little sayings that you have, or perhaps short tips, and turn them into visual graphics. So you can basically type in your quote or your tip or whatever little bit of content you want to put, and go to recitethis.com, and it will turn it into a graphic for you. And they've got all kinds of different graphics and templates. This one just says a cool way to create graphics. That one's a little hard to read, so you could pick a different template if you prefer. And then once you've got it there, you can send it to Tumblr or Facebook or Twitter or Pinterest. So it's just a really easy way to take what would normally be kind of a plain old boring text quote and turn it into a visual, which probably has a much better chance of being shared and spread around on Facebook and Pinterest. Another tool that does basically the same thing is called pinwords.com, and this was created obviously with Pinterest in mind, but with Pinwords you can use your own images and then drop text on top of them. So Pin words lets you take any kind of a photo that you maybe already have and overlay some text that you want to add to it. So maybe you've got a really nice picture of a sunset on a beach or something, and you want to put an inspirational quote over that or something like that. Pin words allows you to do that. And that's pinwords.com, and that's also free. Share as image is another one that's they have a free version and a low cost $6.99 version. And again, as you can see from the screenshot, which hopefully you can see, it's just a way to take those quotes and make them colorful and make them pop off the page. And you know, just a very easy way to take, like I said, what's normally just a text and turn it into something that's much more fun and visual. And again, once you've created your quote image, as it says here, you can share it on Facebook, Pinterest, or Twitter. Pinstamatic is another tool created with Pinterest in mind for creating graphics and images. This is also a free tool, and again, it's just one more easy way to take text and turn it into an image. And last but not least, which is my personal favorite, is Quozio.com, Quozio.com. And this is yet another free site that allows you to take quotes and turn them into more interesting and compelling visual images. So here I just typed in, there are plenty of ways to make video even if you have a face for radio. So just a quick little quote, and I could go to the thumbnails above and pick the color and the background and the style, and basically turn my quote into an image that I can send to Pinterest or Facebook. So those are some ways to start thinking visually and start taking content that you have and maybe starting to put that into a visual or a graphic format. The other thing about content in general, or basically your ideas, is you don't want to sort of fall into the one and done syndrome, especially in social media and YouTube. It's a matter of kind of creating content consistently. And you want to start with content that's relevant to your target market, obviously. And I am a huge believer in repurpose, repurpose, repurpose. So if I've created content for my blog, I'm going to take that same content and try and repurpose it and use it on Facebook or Twitter. So I'm using the same content basically on different platforms, print, photo, and video. And I like to try and create sort of bite-sized content or quick little tips that are both easy to share and that are easy to adapt for several different platforms. So for instance, you know, I've got a blog post, but I'll make sure that that blog post has a photo that can be on Pinterest, and I may even do a video about that blog post that can then go to YouTube. And I kind of call it sort of this wheel of content, where I may start with a basic text blog post, and then I'll take that blog post and I'll post it to Facebook with an image. I'm going to send the photo from that blog post to Pinterest. If it is a PowerPoint, I might share it to slideshare.net, which is a great site for kind of a repository for presentations and PowerPoints, and that's slideshare.net. And the reason I try and post there is because I put PowerPoint presentations there and videos there, and I come back a few days later and something's got 500 or 700 views. So it's sort of a hidden gem.
Wow,
slideshare.net. Yeah. And did you have a question, Janet? I'm sorry.
No, I'm just impressed by that. That's very cool.
Yeah, it's like basically I call SlideShare like YouTube for slideshows. So if you've got any kind of a PDF or PowerPoint, you can upload it for free to SlideShare and share it with the world. And then, of course, if it's a visual post or if it's something that can be turned into a video, I'll put that video on YouTube, and then I'll complete the cycle by putting the video back on my blog post. So I've basically taken one piece of content and I have tried to sort of give it new life and take the same idea or content and then share it on many different platforms so that I'm not having to create new content for every single platform.
Lou, let me ask you a question that's on the webinar from Francine.
Yep.
And when you were showing the different sites where you can make your visual content and the quotes and all, Francine was wondering if it's okay, and perhaps how do you put on your own branding or your own URL on those? Would that be okay to do?
Yeah, absolutely. So let me take this one, for example. Which one was it? It was the last one, Quozio.com. So I've got this. I'll post it to Quozio.com. And for instance, in this case, I just put my name below there. But in most cases, I would put, more tips at www.loubortone.com. So I'd make sure that the URL was sort of included in the quote. And then in some cases, like with Pinterest, you can link it back to your site or link it back to a specific place. So it depends on the platform, but in most cases you can link that back to your website.
Great, perfect, thanks.
So hopefully, excuse me, that answers that question. And now I want to go into the 5 tools to help you make great video. And again, I'm going to go through these one by one, so don't feel like you have to scribble them down quickly or anything like that. But these are all either free or relatively low-cost sites that allow you to create video. And these particular tools are what I call off-camera videos, which are my favorite because as it may come as a surprise, but I don't particularly like being on camera. I prefer sort of the off-camera videos. So I use tools like stupeflix.com, which is stupeflix.com, and I use Stupeflix to create photo video montages. And some of you may have heard of sites like animoto.com or onetruemedia.com. Stupeflix is in that same genre of sites that allow you to create videos using photos. So what I'll do is I'll take photos from Facebook or photos that I can upload from my hard drive on my computer. It allows you to import photos from other sites like Picasa and Flickr. And you take those photos. In this case, I had a whole bunch of Facebook photos that I had created, and you put them into a timeline. You certainly don't need to use this many, but in this case I was doing like a nice little Facebook montage. And I put them into a timeline, put a nice title slide at the beginning, and then maybe a title slide or a call to action at the end with your URL. And Stupeflix turns it into a really professional looking, slick, professionally produced video montage. You can also, with Stupeflix, add music, so you can give your photo montage a soundtrack, and you can just click on the various music options that they give you here and find one that you like. And the nice thing about that is that you can use all these pieces of background music without getting in any trouble with copyrights or any of that kind of stuff. And finally, the other thing I like about Stupeflix is that they've got several different styles or themes. So if I create my video, and in this case I was using a theme on the right-hand side, you can see it was called Party, but I don't like that theme, I can go over there and pick scrapbook or comics or blueprint, and with one click I can change the entire style of the video without having to re-upload the pictures or redo the music or anything. So Stupeflix is a really fun, easy site, and I think the paid version is like $30 a year or something like that. So it's very reasonable, and they allow you to take any images that you want and turn those into a really cool video montage. So that's one. Another one that I like is called Powtoon.com. And Powtoon allows you to create your own customized animation. So it's really, as they say here, a do-it-yourself animated presentation tool that supercharges your presentations and videos. And I'm sure you've all seen the funny little animated videos where hands come in and drop in different little icons and sort of do a whole little story with animation. And Powtoon allows you to do that very easily. They have a screen where you pick the characters and you pick different icons or templates, and you can type various text on the screen so you can have your animated characters talking. It's pretty reasonable. It's starts at $9 a month to use Powtoon. There is a 2-week free trial, and it does allow you to create very professionally looking videos. Um, you can do visual stories if you've got a little story to tell or a product to sell. You can turn that into a visual story, and it's really easy to use. You can see here there's my little guy on the timeline here. So I pulled in a character from the icons on the right, and you can put in background music. You can actually add a voiceover if you want. So here's my little character that I pulled onto the screen, and you can type in whatever you want them to say. In this case, the character was saying, "Welcome to our help tour. Choose a topic and click next." So yeah, you can just create these really cool little animated cartoons without having to know any complicated software or without having to learn any really crazy plugins or all that kind of stuff. It's all drag and drop. You just pick the icons from the right hand side of the screen and bring it over to the left hand side of the screen. You can have it on sort of a wrinkled paper look or clean paper look or different colors. So it's a real fun little site and a really affordable way to create animation.
Lou,
And
can I
speaking,
jump in with another question? Would that be all right?
absolutely. Yeah, go right ahead.
So the question is, can these be saved and downloaded to a PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah, you can save them as a video. I would imagine there's different ways to do these as PowerPoint. I haven't tried to do that yet with Powtoon, but I think probably what I would do is I would take each individual image and save it as a JPEG and then bring it into a PowerPoint. Some of the other ones are a little bit more flexible in terms of uploading them to YouTube and sending them to various sites. But yeah, you can definitely download the work that you do and then reproduce it in whatever format you prefer.
Great, thanks.
Cool. And again, speaking of animation, another site that I like is called GoAnimate.com. And there is a free version of this, and you can create quick little cartoons. And these sites basically are, you type the text that you want the characters to say. So in this particular little video, I had the balloons saying a happy birthday poem or something. I can't remember, it was so long ago. But yeah, so you type what you want the characters to say. The other nice thing about GoAnimate.com, as you can see from this screenshot here, is you can send it directly to YouTube, or you can download it to your computer so that you can save it for other uses. They've also got a lot of sharing buttons here that you can see. They've got Google Plus and Facebook like buttons and ways to share your little creation with Twitter or Tumblr. So it's very flexible. There are a lot of different kind of characters and backgrounds. You can pick the background that you want. Here they've got, I think this was during the election year, so they've got a lot of political stuff. They've got the White House, and they've got a living room and a refrigerator. So you pick the background, you pick your characters, and build your animation or your story one frame by one frame. And this is one that I did for, I had the characters talking about my website. So it was like a shameless self-promotion, but I had rather than me plugging my website, I had the characters doing it. So I would type in what I wanted them to say, like, oh, you really should be using video, and the characters talk to each other and creates a fun little cartoon there. And this was less than a minute and a half long. And this was done with the free version of GoAnimate.com. And apparently the free version doesn't give the characters arms or legs because they don't have any arms or legs. Maybe you have to pay extra for that. But that's just, there are just a whole host of different characters that you can create with GoAnimate. And basically whatever you type, the characters will say. You can even, in some cases, change the accent. So maybe you want to give the woman a British accent, you can do that just by selecting a different voice. So it's really fun and creative and easy to use, just a neat little way to add some creativity to your presentations. I should also mention here, just because people ask all the time where I find music for my videos. On something like Stupaflix, they provide music choices for you, but if you're just creating a video and you feel like you want to have background music and you can't just use your favorite song that's on the radio for copyright reasons, but I go to a site called audiojungle.net. And audiojungle.net has very inexpensive music. You can just type in a genre like epic or cinematic or mellow, and it will give you all kinds of choices of music, ranging from $4 to maybe $20 to use the music cut. And you just download it and bring it into your video, and you've got music for your video. Another one of my favorite sites, getting back to the different ways to create video, is called Video Scribe. And this is the sketch video software that I mentioned at the beginning of the call. And Video Scribe allows you to create your own sketch videos where basically there's a hand that will come on and draw whatever character or photo or text or type you put in there. And Video Scribe has an enormous library of images, and this is sort of what the screen works. On the top, you've got the thing that says little t, big T. That's the text, so you can type in whatever text you want. You can put in your own background music. You can put in your own voiceover, so if you wanted to narrate your presentation. So here I've got my character who's all stressed out because it says, "Are you stressed out because you think you need a ton of equipment to do video?" So basically in this Video Scribe, the hand would come on and draw each element or each character based on the way I put it on the screen, in the order that I put it on the screen. So you can create your whole little animation. The hand will come on and draw this. So here's one that says, "Looking for a way to stand out for the crowd." And then it goes to the next frame that says, "Need something to supercharge your online marketing efforts." So just a fun little way to create animation. This Video Scribe is actually found at a site called sparkol.com, which is SPARKOL.com, which is a company in the UK that created this software. This is, it's not free software. They do have a free trial, but I think it's about 120 US dollars to purchase this software. So you can see from the shot on the left that you've got a hand that will come on and basically draw the character. And you set the parameters, like you say, draw this woman in 2 seconds or draw her in 10 seconds, and the hand will come on and sketch the character. You can select different hands and different writing instruments and different backgrounds. So if you're left-handed or you want a woman's hand or something, Video Scribe gives you all of those options and tons of ways to just make a really cool sketch video. They have a huge library of images so that you can select from the images that they have, or you can import your own images. So what I do is I'll import my logo, and I'll have the hand come on and sketch my logo at the end of my video. So that is Video Scribe, and again, you can find that at Sparkol, SPARKOL.com. Do you have any questions, Janet, while I take a quick drink here?
Let me check on the webinar. I don't see any questions, but we do have a smart aleck, Lynn, who said the paid version of Go Animate apparently costs an arm and a leg.
Oh, really? Yeah, I stick with the free versions.
Yeah, well, that's why you didn't have arms and legs on your little characters.
Yes, so I'm willing to give up some limbs to do things for free. So
yeah, me too.
I always start with the free versions because, again, the other thing I should point out about all these tools is that we don't expect you to run out and buy or use all of these. What you typically do, or what I like to do, is introduce you to several options, and then you might find a style that you feel is best, or you might find a particular piece of software that you enjoy. So for me, I use Superflex quite a bit because I like to create video montages. I have Video Scribe as well. I don't use it as often as I should, but again, you sort of find your favorites and fall into those. But again, you can become your own animator with these tools. If you want video footage, like if you feel like you need something to tell a story, whether it's sunset on a beach or a New York skyline or something like that, you can check out a site called videoblocks.com. And this is where I go to find actual video footage. What I found that was going to the traditional stock photo places, like what's the one, iStock Photo, the video footage tends to be kind of expensive, whereas on Video Blocks, it tends to be much less expensive. And in fact, there are times when they have specials where they let you have unlimited downloads for a week. I got in on a special once where it was $99 for the year, so I had unlimited downloads for the year. So I can go into Video Blocks and find video clips. I can even find that they have music as well. So it's just a nice resource to be able to go and find anything that you may need. Like if you're looking for, I had to do a video, it was like a nonprofit video for foreign country, and it was about poverty and starvation and all that, and I had to find images of these other countries, and Video Blocks had all kinds of footage with different countries and things like that.
Wow.
So very helpful piece of a very helpful web resource.
So Lou, let me jump in here again for just a second, if you don't mind, because I just
Sure.
want to point out to everybody that's listening, up until this point, we have been talking about producing videos, and you don't even have to have a video camera of any kind whatsoever. So I just think, oh my gosh, the resources at this point are so amazing. Thank you for sharing all that, Lou.
Thanks.
And I know there's more.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing, is that the playing field has sort of been leveled. I mean, when I worked at E a million years ago, you really did need a $15,000 video camera and a huge editing suite and all these crazy things. And now, that same kind of technology and resources are available to us for a few dollars. So it's really come a long way and has made all of this stuff accessible to anyone and everyone who's willing to give it a shot. One other animated resource that I will share with you is called commoncraft.com. And again, this is not free, but if you're going to use it, or if you're going to use it to tell stories, it has become sort of a genre in itself, these cutout character kind of things. It's really a style that a lot of folks are using, a lot of businesses are using, and Common Craft makes it so that you don't have to run out and hire an editor or spend a lot of money on video, because you can just use the cutouts and characters that they create and put your story together. So they've got various libraries of characters, and depending on the plan that you sign up for, you can download various images or various libraries, everything from male, female characters to household objects to buildings, and you can basically just download what you need to create and put together your story. They've also got some pre-existing features here and pre-existing videos. So if you wanted to tell or do a video about social media or blogging or something, they've got some stuff that's already sort of done for you. And you can see here they have various membership plans starting at $59 a year, and that gives you access to 800 Common Craft cutouts that you can use for your presentations or videos. If you get a more expensive plan, you get a few more bells and whistles and a little bit more flexibility in how you use all the stuff. But again, you don't have to be an animator to create animation anymore. Common Craft allows you to do this cutout video style. So, and in the interest of sort of over-delivering, I like to show some really, spend just a couple minutes on some new, really kind of cutting edge sites that I've come across. I haven't used all of these a lot lately, but if somebody's really feeling daring, or if they have insomnia like me and wants to experiment late at night, you can check out some of these sites. One of them is called Popcorn Maker, and it's by Mozilla, the same people that do the Firefox web browser. And Popcorn Maker is kind of an interesting site. Basically, it allows you to take existing content and sort of do a mashup or a re-edit of existing content. So if you find something on the web that you're allowed to use or share, like a TED Talk, for example, here's a TED Talk, you can take that TED Talk, assuming it's what they call Creative Commons license and it's fair game to be shared or repurposed, and you can add your own images to it, your own text to it, Twitter comments, or just all kinds of things where you can take content that someone else has created and basically recreate it. So I have a picture of my son on the pitcher's mound here, which has absolutely nothing to do with the TED Talk, but I was just sort of playing with the software to see all the different things that you could do with it. So Popcorn Maker allows you to take existing content and add overlays or information or text to it. So that's kind of fun. You can see on the right-hand side, you've got your options where you can add text or you can add pop-up. You can add a map. I guess if you had a video of your brick and mortar location, you could add a Google map at that point. So there's all kinds of fun little tools to allow you to repurpose somebody else's video. Another tool that's kind of cutting edge and interesting is called Galahad, and there's like a ridiculously long URL, but if you just search Galahad video on Google, you'll find it. And this is really kind of cool software that allows you to create an interactive video that lets your viewers or fans allow the outcome of the video. In other words, you can have ending A, ending B, or ending C, and depending on what your viewer selects, that's the video or the ending that they'll get. So you basically create a timeline video here, and you organize the storyline based on the viewer's choices. So if they click, come to ending A, they'll get ending A. And it's just a really kind of fun way to create stories that are more interactive and that allows your viewers to have some control over the course of the video. So I can see lots of interesting business applications for this. I just haven't really delved into it too far yet. And yet another resource, here's a quick and easy one called Quickie, Q-W-I-K-I. And this is one that I discovered at NAMS, at a conference that Janet and I attend from time to time. And somebody was just taking photos of some of the sessions at this conference and then turning them into quick little movies on their iPhone, like in 2 minutes. And all they had to do was what Quickie does, and here it's, you can see there's an iPhone app, is it takes photos that are related and puts them into a quick little visual story, or kind of a video montage based on the photos that are on your iPhone. So if I'm at the baseball field where I spend most of my summer watching my son play baseball, and I've got 8 or 10 photos of him playing baseball on my iPhone, I can go to Quickie and turn that into a quick little photo montage with music that I also select for my iPhone. So Quickie's a fun little app that's free and easy way to turn photos into movies. And here's yet another crazy tool called Wibbitz.com, W-I-B-B-I-T-Z.com. And Wibbitz is what is called a text-to-video platform that turns a text-based article into a short video. And again, I haven't delved too deep into this, but it's got a lot of possibilities. So what I did was I said, go to this blog post that I did called Best Video Tips, and I put in the URL of the site or the blog post, and then I let Wibbits create a video out of it. So somehow they searched the content of that article. I don't know where they found this picture of me dressed up as Moses, but they threw that in there. And basically it'll take your text content and interpret it or turn it into a video. So a very cool way to turn text into video. As you can see here, they give you the embed code so that you can then put that on your website. If you don't like the way that it turned out, you can customize the clip. So you can go to the bottom here and say, I don't want to use this particular photo. I want to use a different photo. But again, this is just sort of another cutting edge tool that's very new and interesting way to create video. And last but not least, there's a series or a suite of software at creazaeducation.com. It's C-R-E-A-Z-A education.com. And I think this is a tool that was essentially created for educators and teachers and schools, but you could certainly use it for business because they've got an online comics tool. They've got a little movie editor that you can use. They've got all these little suite of very easy to use tools that allow you to create animations or videos. So here, again, it was created, I think, with schools in mind, but you could certainly use it for other purposes. Here's one where there's just a bunch of world leaders and pulled out from their library in order to create a video. They also have a really cool online mind mapping tool called Mindomo, and that allows you to create your mind maps but make them more visual and interactive. So if you've got a mind map, you can add text, you can add media files, you can add videos from YouTube. So it's a way to kind of bring your mind maps to life as a video. And all those tools can be found on creazaeducation.com. So I think that about does it for all of the tips and tools. I can pause for questions before I go into a few other things, but
yeah, that's if anyone does have questions to this point, please feel free to type them into the webinar at this point. I'm getting comments, Lou, like, wow, and
oh, good.
This has been amazing already. That came about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, so we're getting lots of comments. I'm not seeing any questions. Yeah,
okay,
outstanding comment from, I think that's Rebecca.
Oh, excellent. Well, again, and I know what I do is I tend to throw a lot of tips and tools and resources out there, and this doesn't mean that you have to go out and use all of them. Again, it's really just to show you the array of possibilities, many for free, that you can go out and use video, and as Janet said, never having to pick up a camera. So, today we're sort of focusing on the off-camera versions of video and the different websites and resources you can use to do that. If you are interested in more online video, being on camera, appearing on your own videos, I do have a training program called Video Marketing Bootcamp, which is a home study course. And the Video Marketing Bootcamp is 4 modules. It's very easy, down-to-earth, step-by-step training so that you can kind of, watch and learn at your own pace. Each module is like a 45-minute webinar, kind of like this one, but obviously we have the time in that to go more into online videos and on-camera videos. And Marketing Bootcamp comes with the webinar recordings and also some materials like checklists and templates and storyboard samples and things like that. So if you've got, I think there's like a studio checklist in there which says, okay, this is the best camera to use and this is the best microphone to use, and other things that we did not have time to cover today when we're talking more about off-camera videos. So when I did this course live recently, it was a $297 course, and I have changed it to $197 for folks who are listening in on this webinar. And we have a special Janet link for that, which is at bortone.com/Janet Bootcamp. So I don't think this means that you have to go to boot camp, Janet, but I
Thank
think it
you.
does.
Thank you.
It does mean that you can get the video marketing boot camp, and it is, kind of a newbie, not necessarily newbie, but beginning or intermediate program for how to get started with online video that covers a lot of stuff that we didn't have time to do here. So if you go to that web page, you'll see a sales page that says "Make videos that make you money," which is kind of nice, and it's a lot more in-depth and comprehensive than we had time to cover on this call. And I don't know if I have the, yeah, there's what the sales page looks like. And again, it's all about all the different aspects of video, from video marketing to video production to video distribution. So Video Marketing Bootcamp is available to you guys at that link if you prefer. And I think that's pretty much all I have for content here, but I'm happy to have a few minutes for questions if anybody has any questions.
Great. So we're going to throw the floor wide open to what is it that you all wanted to hear that you might not have heard, because everyone has been wowed by these resources from Lou, but I can tell you he's much more than a resource guy. He's a strategy guy, so if you are wondering about how to do some strategy with video, ask away. You've got your chance right now.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing, is that the tools are great and the tools make it easy, but I always sort of go back to what is your business goal? How can video help you achieve that business objective? And if your goal is visibility, then maybe that means creating a series of tips videos that you can post on YouTube and on your blog. I, for instance, did a whole series of very short 2-minute video tips, or 2-minute and under, and I shot them on camera with my webcam, nothing fancy, but I posted those on YouTube, and then kind of drive the traffic back to my website. It positions you as an expert in your niche, and it gets you a lot of visibility. So think about the strategy behind the videos. I mean, aside from the fact that it can be kind of fun and you can create all these cool little videos, you want to think about where does that fit in your business, whether you're doing affiliate marketing or you're trying to kind of establish yourself as an expert in your niche. There are many, many ways to use this.
Lou, you said to me one time that there is really a use of video in every phase or piece of a marketing plan.
Yep.
Is that, I didn't dream that you're saying that, did I?
No, absolutely, because what I say is that it's kind of like anything you can do in marketing, you can probably do better with video. Or maybe not better, but certainly in some cases more engaging or more compelling. So for instance, if you're doing email marketing and sending out email, that's certainly a good marketing strategy. But if you want to really make it pop, you can do video email or send videos in your email. Because of all the emails that you have in your inbox right now, I can almost guarantee that few, if any of them, feature video. So I use a video email resource called MailView, which is MailVU.com. And every once in a while, when I'm not having a bad hair day, I'll fire up MailView, and I'll send out video email messages rather than just plain old email messages. And I think it's a nice change of pace. It gets people's attention. It stands out in the inbox. So people open up their email from me, and rather than just text, I'm on camera just saying, hey, I haven't talked to you in a long time. I just wanted to say hello and see how you're doing. Let's talk soon. Just a much more personal and I think more powerful way to make an impact with video. So that's one example of whatever you can do with marketing, whether it's email marketing or blogs, you can do with video. So if you're doing blogging, do a video blog post once a month just to mix things up a bit.
Well, those are great ideas. I think sometimes people think about having a video on their website and then they don't think about any of the other uses for video. So you're giving us lots of great ideas for that.
Yep. Oh, Susie says that Nancy doesn't think the link's working. Let me put, it'll still go to the same place, but let me see if I had my VA do this morning, and maybe there was a little problem with it, but I can fix that. .com / if you just go to boot camp, that will also work, and it will also be cookied as a Janet person. So let me see if I can send this. Hopefully that went into the, open up the chat box here and put the link in the chat box. Hold on a second. So if you do just loubortone.com / bootcamp, that should also work in case there's a snafu with the link here. Boot camp. See, this is what happens when your kids get out of school for the year, and you try and, you know, like, oh my God, I've got to add that link. And sometimes you move so quickly that, oops, that one says bootcamp.com, bootcamp. That's not right at all. Don't pay any attention to that link. I don't know why it did that. I think the GoToWebinar gremlins are attacking us again.
Well, I think they are, because I am not seeing that question, or if there's any other questions, I'm not seeing them. So
okay.
My questions aren't working, apparently.
Yeah, let me see if, yeah, all right, let's see. Sherry says that has a question about Wibbits. I'll probably answer that offline just because Wibbits is so new. I'm not sure that I could answer that on the fly. Susie says the link is working now. Yay!
Good.
So let's see, and Lynn asks, do you feel that people take the time to watch a 2-minute video rather than to skim a text email? I think that the great thing about video email is that it stands out and it will get people's attention, and it's much more personal. I don't really do video email blasts. I tend to use mailview.com, that email video service, to do kind of personal one-on-one videos, and typically they are really like 30 to 45 seconds. So I don't know. I mean, I think they would take time to watch a 2-minute email because it's more engaging, but the shorter the better. I mean, when I do my video emails, they're literally, you know, quick hellos and let's get together soon, and, you know, that kind of a thing. And they're, you know, maybe 30 seconds long. And for most people, I think that's certainly doable or easy enough to watch. Let me see if I can go back here and see. We did that question. Okay, the link seems to be working.
Great, and let me remind people that we did type into the webinar 2 links. On the webinar control panel, it's the second link.
Second link, yep.
But it's loubortone.com / Janet Bootcamp.
Mm-hmm. Seems to be working now. Steve asked, what was the name of the video email program? Mailview.com, MAILVU.com. There's also another similar resource that does the same thing called iyot.com, which is EYEJOT. See, aren't you glad I stay up late at night and think of all these crazy things? So Mailview VU, Daniel's asking the same question. And Francine from London is asking, do you help people individually? I am technophobic and need a handholder. Yes, most people are a little technophobic, and I also do, you know, one-on-one personal coaching as well. This particular boot camp class, you know, started as a group class and now is several follow-along webinars. But if people want the attention and accountability and access that comes with one-on-one coaching, that's certainly an option. Mailview, I think it's mailview.com, not mailview.org, MAILVU.com or ijot.com. So that's all I see for questions, unless you have anything else, Janet, that you wanted to parting words of wisdom or anything like that?
No, I think this has been tremendously helpful. I'm just stunned. I knew like 2 out of these 20 resources you've given us, so I'm thrilled, and I'm like all excited and want to run out and start doing more video. And I know some of the listeners are too. Don't forget,
Excellent.
though, if you want to do the on-camera video, there's a bit more to learn, and Lou is a great expert in that as well.
Yep, so if you want to learn more and you want the whole kit and caboodle, just check out loubortone.com/Janet Bootcamp. And we will have a recording and replay of this webinar. Go to webinar willing, I always like to say, as long as go to webinar cooperates. We'll post the replay for you in case you missed anything. And again, I want to thank you, Janet, and also all your folks for popping on the webinar today. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for being here with us, Lou. This has been a terrific time.
Great. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next time. I'll leave think up for a couple minutes and next time.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye.